Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I've got a lot going on today. I'm using my counterfeit kit challenge. I'm using a scrap a sketch, which you'll see in a second, Ire Crafters, which is to use acrylic, and mixed media mayhem, which is to use sequins, washi, and glaze. And that is my picture I'm going to use. And I did pull out some stuff. And so I'm going to start with this chevron kind of pattern. And I think this is a close to my heart paper. I'm not entirely sure. Stampin' Up, close to my heart. One of those, I think. And so I had thought about using the back side, which is a gray polka dot in the middle. But I also wanted to use the glaze prompt in the middle. So here we go. So I thought about using two pictures to start with. I am going to just use one in a second here. I do have this Crafters Workshop camera stencil that I have used rarely. I don't know why. It's so cute, and it actually took the stencil butter really well. So for the glaze, I don't have like a traditional kind of glaze, excuse me. And so I decided to use a stencil butter and put some acrylic paint in it and make it kind of like a glaze that way. So there's my dollar store acrylic yellow paint, and this is the pearl stencil butter. Ugh, words. And I'm just gonna mix them together to give a color that's similar to that yellow in the pattern paper. And so I mixed that up, and then I decided that's probably not quite enough. So I did a bit more and a lot more paint, and I'm gonna do some mixing. So this is really important to mix well so that it has a consistent color, if that's what you're looking for. If you want it to have some variations, don't mix it as well. And then I'm just gonna smear it into this stencil. And the lovely thing about using the pearl stencil butter is it does give a really good sheen for the stencil to come through. So it is so pretty. I love the color that this came out. It is just, oh, so happy with it. So I'm doing the first. I know that my pattern paper is going to overlap on the edges, so I'm not so worried about the side edges there. So you can see I did make a mess in quite a few of the spots, but that's not a big deal. I don't use my magnet again because I don't know where I would put it. So I'm just being careful and smearing this through again. And then I actually mixed up too much. So I'm going to grab my art journal in my black one, and I'm going to put this on black here right away too, because oh, why not? So use up some of this extra because it's extra. And I am not being precious about putting it through this on the black. I'm just going to put it off to the side and let it dry, and whenever I get to do something on here. And the whenever is the true thing. I have pages that I've started backgrounds with like a year ago that I haven't done anything with. So yeah. And then I cleaned up because that stencil butter and acrylic really does need to be cleaned up right away. So I cut that out of my layout so you didn't have to see it. And that means that this stencil in the middle is almost completely dry, so I can totally keep going on my layout, which is awesome. So there we go. And then on this I'm also using. So these are some wood veneer pieces from Hip Kit Club, and that ice cream cone, since they're eating ice cream, worked really super well. So I'm using an embossing glaze on here. And so it's embossing liquid glaze is what it's actually called. So I was like, oh, I actually do have something that has glaze in the title. So I'm going to make that work for my glaze item too. And I should have waited until it was on my page, but I didn't. So just double checking that it's dry. And then I'm like, I need some cardstock. So picked out this teal and the black because I thought the teal would go really nicely with the teal zigzag and to bring in some of the other color. Because why not? And super cute. Still deciding if I was going to use one or two, and I am totally just going to use the one picture. And then double mat it. And then in the sketch there is some layers on each side, so I'm going to do layers with the leftover papers that I have used and the washi, because I have to get washi on here. So like so, and then yep, I totally do want that as one of my paper layers. I do not have a notebook die or punch, so most of the time I just add ripped paper in that kind of aspect. Sometimes I'll use a different punch. Sometimes I'll use something different. This washi is going in the spot on the sketch where those stars were, and I'm going to put it underneath that paper first though, and so was not as keen on it over top. So I'm going to put those onto my photo so that it's one mat that I'm playing around with, and then this I can sneak underneath. And this I used on another layout on last Tuesday, I believe. And I did Tuesday's layout after I did this one, but so I had a bunch of washi sitting on my desk still, and that's why I used it on Tuesdays. But all good. And then because I ripped that paper, I did need to back my photo a little bit just so that I have it able to not have a bendy bit where that ripped piece is, because it actually does give quite a bit of dimension there. I'm going to add a little bit more washi to each side. So really get that washi on here. I like this one. It does add like a whole bunch of different colors to the layout, but I thought it would be fun to use anyway. And it's not horribly distracting. And then there's different colors. I'm going to use that ice cream cone, which has the two colors, the teal and the yellow in it. But I'm also going to introduce those other ice cream ones, or popsicles too. And then I pull out my acrylic piece for the Iron Crafters. So this one says love. I'm thinking about it, but I have the details one from Ali Edwards above me too, and I'm like, maybe. So then that goes on. The wow is going to go on top where the title is in the sketch. My title is actually going to be on the side, or this is a title and a subtitle. I don't know. Details, ice cream, yum. Just them eating the ice cream is like the details part of things. And I am going to use the details as a spoiler alert. And then this one is right on that edge of the paper. So I just added some glue to make sure it stays. This I'm going to sneak underneath, and that gives it a little bit of the backing. This last one is going to go up that top there. But I was thinking, where do I put it? It's so cute there. Why wouldn't I put it there? And then I decided I liked details more, because these are little life details. So, and then tried in a whole bunch of different spots. It's going to go back right there because I like it right there. So that is the acrylic for Iron Crafters done. And then the only other thing I need is a sequence from the Mixed Media Mayhem is what's left. So I'm going to sprinkle sequins all over the place because it's pretty. And the gold matches the gold in the ice cream cone. So there's some gold embossing on there. And it ties in the shiny in the cameras. And then I decided to put these sequins in a line to mimic the stars on the sketch. And we're almost done. I was super happy how this one turned out. It's bright and colorful and fun, and as a layout should be when you're eating ice cream. just debating if I needed any more sequins. I decided, nope. I do a little cleanup, and here are close-ups. There's some still shots to follow as well. There is a playlist for iron crafters, and there is also a playlist for Mixed Media Mayhem, so I'll have those linked below. Scrap-a-Sketch is on Facebook, and they do a free sketch every Friday, so that will be linked below too. And because I used my counterfeit kit challenge, it is also linked below. Because this is a design team layout for Scrap-a-Sketch, there is also a code here for 10% off printables, books, and stencils. So just enter Amanda10 at checkout at scrapasketch.com. And thank you so much for watching today. If you liked my layout, I would really appreciate that thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you would consider subscribing. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful day.